I want you to listen to this very, very clearly. I've never taken an endorsement advertising dollar on this channel. That doesn't mean I'm not going to, but if I do, we get hit up every week for endorsements. We literally have a company that I own, Alibaba, reached out to us to endorse their stock. You know what we said? No, this is a company I own. I had a vested interest in endorsing its stock.
Man, hopefully my audio is good. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I am so pissed off that Alibaba has not contacted me to sponsor my channel, because I would shield them to the moon and back, and I would take their renminbi or whatever you call their currency. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. We got to talk about my recent sale. And it's that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. Every December, people make this video, and I just sucked you in. But I'm going to teach you something. So I have some Chinese stocks, bro. Chinese stocks, bro. I initially had Alibaba. I said, it's stupid to have an individual stock. I sold it at a loss, realized the loss, and then I went ahead and bought basically a total market China ETF with a very low expense ratio, the FLCH. I call it the Fletch ETF. It basically invests in large and mid-cap companies in China. It's got like a 0.19% expense ratio. It was the lowest one I could find. And I've decided to sell that, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I have sold all of my Chinese stocks because I realized that why would you not just buy QQQ, which are large cap tech, which go up a lot, and they're very good companies, and it's just common sense, right? But in all seriousness, I did sell it. But I bought something else, and I'm going to go ahead and teach you something here. I'm drawing a blank here. How do I share my freaking screen? This is what is known as tax loss harvesting. That's right. So what ETF did I buy? Well, I sold the FLCH ETF, and instead I bought the iShares MSCI China ETF. The market value is $6,672, and I've currently lost $48 of unrealized gains. Now, why did I sell FLCH and buy this ETF? Well, it's the same thing, right? Well, not really. And I would argue before the IRS. Of course, consult your tax advisor. But I would argue before the IRS that this is a different ETF, and this does not count as a wash sale. Now, why would I be worried about wash sales? I want to save money on my taxes. I want to save taxes because I have capital gain distributions that I know are going to come out of my taxable mutual funds. And if I sell anything at a gain this year, and I still have some time, if I somehow, for any reason, do that, that gain will be taxed unless I have a loss to offset it. Gains and losses from your capital gains offset each other. So if you sell something at a loss, it actually helps reduce your taxable capital gains. And if you net everything out and it's a loss, you can actually use that loss against your ordinary income on your tax return, subject to limitations, $3,000 a year. You can actually reduce your taxable income by $3,000 per year, assuming you have net, I'll say net 1,000 times, a net loss. Okay, obviously consult your tax advisor. You don't want to just, oh, show me, I made a video, so I'm going to do this and that. But you can save money on your taxes. So let me show you an example of why I did this. Okay, this is going to make everything very clear. It's probably hard to see, but you see there's two colors here. There's purple and there's blue. The purplish color is the ETF I just bought, and the blue color is the ETF I just sold. Do you notice something about this? Do you notice that they're basically trading it the exact same way? Yes, because they're basically tracking the same thing. Now, there's differences between these two ETFs, and they're different enough where I think it constitutes not being a wash sale. But you can clearly see, at least over the past year, I don't know about 2 years. Look at the last 5 years. They trade basically like each other, okay? This is why I use this as a candidate for tax loss harvesting, because they are highly correlated, and they are ETFs, and they have a lot of the same stocks at roughly similar weightings. Now, this is totally different than what Paul Gabriel did. Okay, Paul Gabriel of Everything Money. He sold an individual stock at a loss and bought another individual stock. Individual stocks can go here and there. Okay, one can go up massively and one can go down massively. I think it's a terrible idea to tax loss harvest an individual stock with the intention of buying it back in 30 days because it doesn't take that long for stocks to change like that. Okay. So this is why I went ahead and hold on a second. Yo. Damn dog. This is why I went ahead and used the MCHI ETF as a tax loss harvest candidate. Okay. Now let's compare these two ETFs. MCHI is on the left, FLCH is on the right. The expense ratio of MCHI is 0.58%, and the expense ratio of FLCH is 0.19%. There's a reason I bought this ETF. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot less assets under management, but the expense ratio is a lot cheaper. Now, MCHI has 647 holdings, while FLCH has 954 holdings. They're kind of different, okay? But they both basically track China. You can see their correlations are almost exactly the same. And if you go down and look at the holdings, top 10 holdings, MCHI, 14.3%, Tencent, FLCH, Tencent, 13.06%, NetEase, Alibaba. Do you see it's pretty similar, but it's not really the same thing. This is how you can potentially consult your tax advisor. Tax loss harvest. Now, to review tax loss harvesting, okay, like I said, if you have gains during the year and you have losses, you can net them out. You can net them out and you won't have to pay taxes on those gains, okay? Taxes hurt your returns. They hurt your returns massively. That's why I say max your tax advantage accounts. You can't do this inside of a tax advantage account. That's why I say before you do this, talk to a tax advisor. Hey, Strongman, I tax loss harvested in my IRA. You can only do this in taxable accounts, okay? But the key thing is the wash sale rule. This is this thing at the bottom right here. So a wash sale is, think about this. Let's say I have a stock. Let's say I have Tesla stock. And I have a loss on the stock. So I buy it for $200 and it's now $150. I sell it. Well, I just made a $50 loss and I can write that off against my taxes, right? Well, if I buy it back within 30 days, that loss is not allowed because basically what you're doing is you're just trying to fake a loss by buying and selling it to use that against your taxes. So the IRS has this rule where if you sell an investment, you look 30 days before and 30 days after. And if you had bought the same investment, that loss is disallowed and added back to the basis of the shares that you repurchased. Basically, you can't just buy and sell real quick to harvest losses. That's with the same security. But potentially, depending on your situation, consult your tax advisor. You could have two different ETFs that are, they trade roughly the same, but they're different. One has 5,000 stocks and one has 4,000 stocks. And one is total world X India, and one is total world with everything. And you could potentially tax loss harvest those without triggering this wash sale, which disallows your losses. Okay, that's it. That's why everybody talks about tax loss harvesting. It's really not that complicated, but it can actually save you taxes. Now, the final point I'll make is that if you are only focusing on maxing your tax advantage accounts, you don't need to worry about that. Like, let's say you only have money in your IRA and your 401k. You can't tax loss harvest because there's no taxes going on inside of those accounts. So you don't have to worry about tax loss harvesting, which is honestly, that's a good thing. But if you have taxable investments, you can use this strategy, consulting with somebody that knows what they're doing, and you can actually save real money. So on my tax return last year or the year before, I had like VXUS and I had VT, and I sold all of VXUS at like a $3,000 loss. They're not perfectly correlated, but I went ahead and bought VT, and that loss went against my taxes. Like, I have a negative capital gain on my taxes, and I was able to save money. This year, I'll probably save money again. It's not hard, okay? So let's do some comments here. Now, the one comment that brings me in, 0.58 is ridiculous. Yes, but I only have to hold it for 30 days. That's the thing. Once I hold it for 30 days, I'm outside of the wash sale window. Then I can go back to FLCH if I wanted to, theoretically. You got to adhere to that 30-day window. Otherwise, the loss gets disallowed. You don't lose it forever, but it gets added to the basis of the shares you purchased. But I'll pay 0.58 for a month to save hundreds of dollars on taxes. Okay, let's see. There's a great opportunity to buy emerging markets ETFs, but individual Chinese stocks, I mean, in general, I think it's wiser. If you want to play around with individual stocks, just do an ETF. I think it's just better. Because one stock, I mean, there's so many hidden risks to one stock. That green screen makes you look thinner. This isn't a green screen. Your Tesla dividend, yes, I love my Tesla dividends as passive income. Bob is so, just buy large cap tech, bro. That's all that matters. You sound just like Paul Gabriel Bussy. That is a horrible insult. Strong man, make a video about your college career. You know, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I will talk about my college days. Well, I went to college multiple times, so. Why buy QQ? Of course. Just get the passive income, bro. Chris, what are you wearing? It's a Chewy shirt. So this is getting me in trouble with the diversity police. It's racist. Welcome back to the US of A, Dong Man. I haven't left this country in like 6 years. Been in the US for a while. These Chinese, look, Ryu is 100% China. Okay, buy it. It's got a 2% expense ratio. Finally following Jeremy's tax-efficient tax law. Jeremy will probably never pay capital gains again. I'm dead serious. If he lost millions and millions of dollars, he will never pay capital gains tax again because he has so many losses. Because if you can only use 3,000, the rest you can use the next year, but it's only 3,000 each year. So if he had like 2 million of losses, he could use 3,000, and then the 1.997 million gets rolled over to the next year, and then he can use 3,000 the next year. That's it. But even if he has capital gains to like offset that in the future, he has so many losses. I don't think he'll ever pay tax again. Capital gains, at least. Have the tax loss harvest when you live off feet. I mean, I probably will be doing that. Let's see. That is quite smart. Yes, I'm very sophisticated, but you need to talk to your seat because, like, the danger with YouTube is you're like tax loss harvesting, which is a legit way to save money, and people are like, I just did it in my 401k, and then it's totally wrong and it doesn't count your 401k. So it's actually worth it to pay a CPA. Like me, I'm doing taxes this year, and I will be advertising on my channel. This rule only applies to the U.S. Rules are different, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea how they do it in India. And I'm not learning. Christopher Bell, class action. If you've lost money listening to Christopher Bell, you may be entitled to a large cash settlement. Did you actually? I tax loss harvested. I bought a very highly correlated ETF. Just got out of the exam. Damn, look at you. This guy might be a CPA. He might actually be a CPA. That was my hardest exam. I didn't like BEC. It was, oh, it's easy, bro. I thought it was the hardest one. I just bought 2 shares of NVIDIA yesterday. I've been buying it since 2012. Let's see. People will say a big carry forward will take decades to use. Yeah, exactly. 100%. So, but you can still use it. Like if you have gains in the next year, you can use that to offset it. But at the end of the day, the most you can deduct against ordinary income is $3K. No, I'm trying to, why won't this click? Did you see Paul's latest video on dollar cost averaging and timing QQQ and VOO in this? Yeah, I reacted to it. If you go look at my older videos, I reacted to it. It was a horrible video. Let's see. Strongman, should I cash? Oh, look, go into massive debt, sell everything you have, maximum leverage, everything just to buy Bitcoin, bro. That's all that matters. Just do it. It's a joke, of course. BEC is easy. I didn't like it. Strongman up. There you go. Look at you. What are you buying, Tesla in there? I got wrecked on FAR. I thought those were BEC killed me, man. I did not like it. Hey, Strong, man. If my strongest subject is math, what major do you think is a good idea to pursue? I mean, it depends what you like, because math is used in a broad variety of different fields. It really, do you like science or do you like business? If you like science, I don't know, maybe I'm not an expert on that, but if you like business and stocks and stuff, accounting, 110%. I was thinking about engineering or business. I mean, like, it's whatever you like. I never liked engineering. I hated science, but I liked business. And accounting is the way to go if you want to do business. Don't do finance, bro, finance, bro. Losers. Let's see. This one came out I need to check that out then. More content for me. Just buy it when it's low, bro, when it's cheap. And sell it when it's expensive. It's easy, bro. I'm waiting here with bated breath. Strongman, I misread flags and made fun that you called out when I first got into investing. Hope you continue. Of course. I make a little bit of money. I have fun. I'm not giving up. I don't like science. Yeah, business is okay. Then do accounting, 110%. All right, guys. That's tax loss harvesting. Really, you should consult somebody that knows your situation, because you can screw this up, and if you do, you're gonna look stupid. But I did actually save money on my taxes, and I'm happy. All right, what outro are we doing, LaFufu?
Oh, merry stock market! Oh man! Woo!